Kanye West has been in the game for 20 years, and with just about every project being a classic, it's no secret that Kanye West has cemented himself as a legend in the game. But sometimes, legends overstay their welcome for the love of the game and end up doing more damage than benefit to their legacy that they spent decades building up. Let's keep it a buck. Ye's career is at a crossroads. Dude's already a legend, but lately, he's been fumbling the bag hard with the recent releases like Vultures 2. In my opinion, Kanye needs to retire now. Not because he's washed or irrelevant, but because dropping more music might turn his legacy from GOAT to GOAT who wouldn't shut up. So let's break it down. My name is Ron. I upload 3 videos on hip hop every week. If you're new here, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. And if you're coming back, nice to see you again. Hope your day is going well, and let's get right into the video. Let's start with the obvious. Kanye West changed music forever. When the College Dropout dropped in 2004, hip-hop was all about 50 Cent's bulletproof swag and Dipset's icy drip. Then here comes Ye, a producer turned rapper with a pink polo, a chip on his shoulder, and lyrics about working at the Gap. It shouldn't have worked, but it revolutionized the game. Ye had like a golden era from 2004 to 2013 where he dropped Late Registration, Graduation, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And he wasn't just making music, he was crafting cultural events. His albums dropped like meteor strikes, reshaping genres, trends, and even fashion. Remember the Shutter Shades, the Yeezy sneakers, the I'ma let you finish meme? Kanye wasn't just in the culture, he was the culture. But here's the thing about legends. They don't always know when to exit the stage. Fast forward to 2016, Kanye is still dropping heat like The Life of Pablo, but the cracks are showing. His rants are getting louder, his MAGA phase begins, and the Kardashian drama overshadows the music. By 2018, Ye, a messy, half-baked album recorded in Wyoming, fans started side-eyeing the hype. Then came Jesus is King in 2019. Look, gospel Kanye had potential, like records like Ultralight Beam exist. But this album just felt less like a spiritual awakening and more like a PR detox after his Slavery Was a Choice disaster. Tracks like Closed on Sunday became a meme, and the passion that defined his earlier work felt forced. And don't get me started on Donda 2. A $200 stem player exclusive, unfinished demos, features that sounded like they were recorded in a bathroom stall. The album wasn't just bad, it was sad. This is the same guy who once made Runaway, but the music wasn't even the worst part. Kanye's always been controversial, but lately, he's gone full supervillain arc. The anti-Semitic rants, the White Lives Matter shirts, the Alex Jones interviews, each headline chipped away at his reputation. Brands dropped him, collaborators distanced themselves, and even Jay-Z reportedly told him that he needs help. But here's the problem. You can't separate the art from the artist when the artist keeps setting the art on fire. Every time Ye opens his mouth, he makes it harder to revisit his classics without cringing. Streaming Through the Wire hits different when he's out here cosplaying as a Nazi sympathizer. Even though he sort of slowed down on that and definitely hasn't made those comments in a while. It's just still sort of puts a weird taste in your mouth listening to the older music. And let's be real, the music isn't strong enough anymore to justify the chaos. If Kanye dropped another My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, maybe fans could stomach the nonsense, but when the music's mid and the man's a menace, it's a wrap. Retirement isn't about quitting, it's about preservation. Think about athletes like Michael Jordan ignoring the Wizards years, or artists like Lauryn Hill. They dipped out at their peak, leaving fans to wonder what if instead of why won't they stop. Kanye's legacy is still salvageable. His first 5 albums are untouchable. His production catalog, working with artists like Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, and Travis Scott, is iconic. The Yeezy empire, despite the Adidas divorce, changed sneaker culture forever. But if he keeps pushing out rushed albums and doubling down on bigotry, he'll be remembered as a cautionary tale and not a legend. And imagine if Kanye pulled a Frank Ocean, disappear for a decade, let the world miss him, and drop one final masterpiece. The hype would break the internet. But instead, he's on a sinking ship, tossing out demos like expired life rafts. Let's game this out. If Kanye drops another album in 2025, here's what happens. Half of Twitter defends him blindly, and then half clown him for being irrelevant. And then the outlets are going to write 5,000 hot takes on his redemption arc or his downfall. And unless he's got a time machine to 2010, the project won't live up to the hype, honestly, especially when we saw records like Vultures 2 and Donda 2 drop recently. And the worst case scenario is he releases something so bad it taints the classics. We've seen this before with like Eminem's later albums, and then Lil Wayne's The Carter 5 was solid, but it couldn't really erase the Rebirth era. And Kanye's on the same path, except with way more baggage. And I hear you. Kanye's always been misunderstood. Kanye will reinvent himself again. Kanye's looking into the future, looking back, we're going to see the vision in hindsight. And sure, maybe he's got one last classic in him, but let's look at the receipts. He's 47. Most rappers peak in their 20s and 30s, except like Jay-Z and Nas. His energy is split between music, fashion, politics, and just trolling in general. And dude's been surrounded by yes men. Like, who's going to tell him no? Anybody who tells him no is just going to get kicked out the room, kicked out the building, and told to go find God. Even if he drops a good album, the discourse will center around the controversies and not the music. Remember Donda? It was a solid project, but everyone was talking about the Drake beef and the $12 million listening party. So if Ye really wants to retire with his GOAT status intact, I think he's got a little bit of a playbook to follow where it's a couple steps. So I think he's got to drop a farewell album, announce that it's a farewell album and let people know that this is the final piece of work that he's going to drop, like just fully involved with. And it's got to be good, bro. It can't be any gimmicks. It can't be, a stem player record. It can't be just a bunch of demos slapped together. I think he's got to sort of go on a little bit of an apology tour and sort of just go out and say, hey, I was tripping about certain things. I was wilding when I was saying this, but I'm on the right path now. I'm doing my thing, and, I'm focusing my energy on more positive things in life, and then really just disappear for a while. Let the world marinate in his legacy, really. No interviews, no antics, no gimmicks, no drama or anything like that. Just, quiet off, just go disconnect from the world and just, let people enjoy the music and then just pop back up in a couple years. And then just really just curate the catalog, remaster the first couple albums, drop some unreleased gems like Yandi. Like, retirement doesn't mean silence. Look at Jay-Z. He barely raps anymore, but he's still a mogul. Kanye could focus on Yeezy, mentoring new artists, or produce behind the scenes. At the end of the day, Kanye is a cautionary tale about genius without guardrails. His talent is undeniable, but his ego is a liability. Dropping more music won't fix his reputation. It'll just give the world more reasons to cancel him. So here's my plea. Ye, retire while you're still ahead. Let us remember you as the guy who made late registration, not the guy who made Vultures 3, 4, and 5. Your legacy deserves a lot better. And to the fans, stop enabling him. Demand greatness or nothing. Because right now, Kanye isn't just hurting himself, he's hurting hip-hop.